This is a historic moment for our union. We're looking at our brothers and sisters at John Deere who voted down their contract at 90% and decided to walk out. That's huge. And those are folks saying, hold on, you guys have not done bargaining in our best interest. You have not gotten what we need. I'm very concerned because I'm concerned about the future of the union. I'm concerned about our future ability to organize more workers. I'm concerned about our future ability to really bargain good contracts because our leaders are going to jail and the companies know it.
While 10,000 United Auto Workers members are on strike at John Deere, there's a vote underway that could revolutionize the UAW union after decades of losing members and handing concessions to bosses.
So this vote is an opportunity to restore that democracy, put leaders in place who will listen to the members and change the tenor of the UAW and put the UAW back in the forefront of leading the labor movement, which we haven't sat in that seat in decades.
If it passes, the referendum will usher in a new phase of democracy at what once was one of the most powerful unions in the nation.
So in 1980, we had 1.1 million members, mostly in manufacturing, and a good portion of those in the big three auto companies. Flash forward to today, and we have under 400,000 members. About a third of those remain in the auto industry. That has led to concessionary bargaining. I believe that direct elections can change that. When the membership has to elect and vote for their top leadership, the leadership has to pay attention to them.
Supporters of the UAW referendum say lack of union democracy has led to concessionary contracts like the one John Deere workers voted against. They also say the absence of democratic elections for union leadership is what led to a historic corruption scandal that forced the UAW to hold a referendum on its elections in the first place.
Another former UAW vice president is headed to court tomorrow.
Former regional director Vance Pearson pleading guilty to racketeering and embezzlement.
He is number 12 on the growing list.
Former UAW President Gary Jones is headed to prison later this summer. Today, a judge sentenced him to 2 years and 4 months for helping embezzle hundreds of thousands of dollars and living lavishly off membership dues.
The last two UAW presidents that were elected at constitutional conventions we're using those to spend the winters in villas, private villas in Palm Springs, California, where it's nice and pleasant during the wintertime. They were doing this with our union funds.
We've had over 15 top-level officials being arrested for corruption. We have had 3 different presidents of the UAW, international presidents, in the last 4 years, as folks have gone to jail or retired. And because of that corruption and all the things that have happened, the UAW has been put up under monitorship by the government. And the government has said that part of that is that the UAW has to decide how its leaders are elected.
The UAW currently elects its national leadership through a delegate system. For the past 70 years, an administration caucus has maintained tight control of the union leadership.
They've held power over this union for so long because they've just pick their friends and nepotism and everything else, and it has really stymied any type of reform movement. It's stymied other folks who are activists from really coming up in the ranks and being able to change the union.
Fighting for one member, one vote, because the UAW has been a one-party system for over 70 years. It's completely controlled by the administration caucus, and that complete control led them to believe that they could do what they wanted without any consequence. As a delegate to the last 3 constitutional conventions, I did vote against the administration caucus. And as soon as I cast my vote, I got a chorus of boos from the staff and administration caucus delegates that didn't like the way I voted. I don't think that's any way to have a democratic system.
It's a good old boys network. And I think everybody understands what the good old boy network is. They're picking their friends and people who are absolutely loyal to them to run the organization.
Under the administration caucus, UAW membership has plummeted, and the big 3 auto industry giants Ford, Chrysler, and General Motors have cut pay and benefits for newer workers, creating a 2-tiered system.
Imagine having a job, you work next to somebody, and it takes you 8 to 10 years to get to the same wage scale they're at. Your body's taking the same amount of wear and tear, you're doing the exact same work, and you're coming in the exact number of hours and days that everybody else is. So that's concessionary bargaining to me at its basic core, and I think it's just wrong.
The two-tiered wage and benefit structure is disastrous for workers at every level. What we need is to eliminate that as soon as we possibly can and build a solidarity-based union again.
More than 1 million current and former UAW members can vote in the referendum, and ballots are due at the end of November.
The UAW not being as democratic as it should have been and as it could have been really has stymied our growth and really has stymied our sustainability and why we're not growing. It's taken us from being a progressive and radical union to just a business as usual union holding hands with our employers, and I think it's wrong. So that's what's at stake, changing the direction of the union and putting the members back in charge.